Hey guys, it's Lance from CinematicGalaxy here today. I finally seen The Adventures of Tintin, which came out last year, and I'm going to review it. The Adventures of Tintin is directed by Steven Spielberg, and Peter Jackson, I think he was producer on it. Yeah, he collaborated with them, and just the whole idea of that, the concept of that is so awesome. Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings fame, and Steven Spielberg of all those great films he's done. Anyway, Tintin's actually been around for a long time. There are a lot of popular comic books over in Europe, very old and just very popular among people there. The US is not really as well known, so it was actually released first over in Europe. What's interesting is that Steven Spielberg had been planning on making a Tintin film long ago. It actually came after the success of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where a lot of people told him, oh, that reminds me of Tintin, and Steven Spielberg had never actually heard of Tintin, and then I think he read the comic books, and he was instantly hooked, and he immediately saw that Tintin had that adventure tone, serial kind of tone, just like Indiana Jones had, except Tintin actually came first. So it's kind of cool. I really had a lot of fun with Tintin. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was very fun from the opening credit sequence, and yeah, it was just a really fun, kind of lighthearted adventure film. There's nothing really too deep here. It's just, you know, just basically a fun adventure. You know, kids will picture themselves as Tintin doing all this stuff, and you know, they'll like the dog Snowy. The dog was my favorite character, and then there's the captain, the drunk captain played by Andy Serkis. We have Daniel Craig as a villain. I mean, just an overall great cast. Now, this is a motion capture film, and previously I wasn't really a fan. I mean, Avatar had really good motion capture, but previously the Polar Express, I guess the technology was kind of new back then, but the humans in that, I just thought they were trying to look realistic, but they're just very stiff, very wooden, very lifeless kind of, and I just never really was into that technology. It was always just kind of creepy and kind of unnerving, really. But I guess they've come a long way, because Tintin looks fantastic. You know, I had no problems with the look of this movie, no problems with the characters, the way they looked. All the animation, everything is done so well. It kind of feels surreal, like these are real characters, like real people, but they're just in a cartoon environment. Like, I can't really describe it, but it looks really good. John Williams does a score, as he does for just about all of Spielberg's other films, and once again, the guy is awesome. This might not be one of his most memorable, iconic scores, but it's still a very good score. It definitely fits the whole adventure theme. Kind of reminds you of Indiana Jones at times, but it has a different spin on it. But it's a very good score. I really enjoyed it. A lot of the action scenes in this film were very fun, very entertaining. And this film, again, it definitely feels like Indiana Jones, but a little bit of a lighter version, you know. It's not as deep. And it just, you know, it's fun. You know, it's just a fun, light adventure. No, I did enjoy the adventure plot of this movie. I enjoyed the story, the secret of the unicorn and all that stuff. But I will admit that Tintin is definitely kind of a little bit hard to follow at times. It moves along at such a fast pace, and the characters are often talking about the mystery and the scrolls and all this stuff. And several times I was kind of having to go over in my head, like, wait a minute, what are they talking about? What's happening? I never really had to do that with Raiders of the Lost Ark or films like that. So I don't know if it's just the source material or the way they told it. It was a little complicated, but overall, by the end, I was still following it, kind of. And it's not a big flaw, but it is a little flaw in the film. Overall, though, I really enjoyed Tintin. I think Steven Spielberg really has a knack for these kinds of films. And Peter Jackson, you know, he must have been a great collaborator, because it just worked. You know, it just worked. I'd love to see them collaborate in the future. And I'd love to see a sequel to Tintin in the future that might improve on the flaws and, you know, be even more action-packed and adventurous. Some kids are going to love this film, other kids aren't. For me, these types of films make me feel like I'm a kid, you know. I actually didn't see Raiders of the Lost Ark till I was 14 a few years ago, and it made me feel like I was 6. I mean, just the whole sheer adventure of it, the the fun, just the scope of it, everything about it, the mystery, so much fun. And this movie is a really fun movie for kids. If you don't want them to see Indiana Jones yet or something, just introduce them to Tintin, gradually build them up to Indiana Jones. I'm going to give The Adventures of Tintin an A-. I really enjoyed it, had fun with this movie. And I just want to let you guys know, I guess the way I rate movies is a little weird. I know I gave Young Adult an A in my previous review. I actually think I preferred Tintin. It's just that I gave Young Adult an A because I think for what it was trying to do, it did a very good job of that. But I would actually watch Tintin more often. So yeah, I actually probably enjoyed Tintin more, but I just think that it had a little bit of flaws in what it was trying to do, but it was still a very fun movie. Anyway, guys, let me know, what is your favorite adventure film out there? Mine is personally Raiders of the Lost Ark. And anyway, guys, stay tuned for my next few reviews. This is Lance from CinematicGalaxy signing off.